My name is Luke, and I am the pretty boy, tough guy carver. I'm a half Nishka, half Haida, 50 something indigenous man. I've been a professional artist for the last 20 plus years. I was a professor for 10, and I've been an amateur game designer for the last 4. This is a weekly vlog where I'll play a solo board game and talk about my current art projects, the games I'm designing, some things I'm into, some past artworks, and my never ending battle to regain my health. Hello there, shiny, happy people. I decided I'm going to try and get these episodes down to 15 minutes. So, yeah, so I'm going to work on that. So, last week, what I did was I uploaded the video to the iMovie, and then I did the voiceover, and then I edited the video around the voiceover. And that worked really great, actually. So, I'm going to do that again. So, basically, what I'll have to do is I'll have to do more editing on the video to get them down to 15 minutes. And I'll just have to be a bit more economic with my words, especially with editing the videos. Like this week's game is a pretty light game, and it only takes about a half an hour to play solo. But I want to get into some heavier games, and so that'll require me to sort of like maybe record the first 15 or 20 minutes, then record 15 or 20 minutes in the middle, and then maybe record the last 10 minutes, and then edit it down to the around 15 minutes. I'm not gonna be exactly 15 minutes. So some are 13 or some are 18. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Anyway, so I'm not going to cut anything out of the videos, though. I'm not going to cut out the food and stuff. I'm not going to cut out my weight and stuff, because really these videos are for me to check myself, or keep myself in check. I'll just have to be more efficient. And I'll talk more about this later. But I was really thinking about this game. It's a Wonderful World. It's a really amazing little game. But it came in like a big box, and it's actually... Like if you look on the screen, there's a tiny little yellow box. Like it all fits inside that little yellow box, but it came in a big box. And I was just sort of thinking about that. It's a weird because it's like, it's like a little box game in a big box, but it delivers big fun. Like it's a really good game. And then I was thinking, wow, I really lived the best life if these are my problems. Or maybe I'm just ignoring my big problems by focusing on irrelevant things. The story of my life. And that's the title of this week's episode is The Conundrum of Focusing on Irrelevant Things. And so like I said, the game I'm working on this week is called It's a Wonderful World. It's designed by Frederick Gerard with art by Anthony Wolf and published by Lucky Duck Games, amongst others. And the date that this vlog covers is from February 10th to February 16th. And so this game is a really great little game. It's quite the brain burner. And really what this game is about constantly thinking ahead and hoping that you made the right decisions earlier. It starts slow, but it ramps up really quickly. It's only 4 rounds, and the first round you don't get a lot done. Second round a bit more, and then right third or fourth it just explodes until like just all your points come in. And so you really have to plan well, and you really have to choose a path or be efficient with the path that's there in front of you, because it's all card based, so there's a bit of luck involved, but because you can get really unlucky and just get nothing. So I was thinking like nice thing here. It's like a small box card game, but it came in a big box, and I assume that's so they could charge more. And it comes with quite a few plastic cubes and punch outs, and maybe those were expensive, and they would have to charge more than they felt someone would pay for a small box game, because people have a expectations on what a small box game should cost, and I think that maybe with cubes and stuff, maybe they thought, well, we're not going to be able to get enough money back on a game. And I suppose like putting it in the bigger box, the price of the bigger box was negligible. But I was thinking like if they're going to put in a big box, then they could have included like a removable tray, because you're charging. This game was like, I got it on sale for 20% off it, and it cost me $50. And for $50, and I think they could have put in like maybe a really cool tray, that like removable tray for the cubes and the cards. And then that would have made setup like so easy. But one of the really great things about this game is actually the solo play. The solo play is amazing. Like I said, it's quick. It ramps up quick. Setup and takedown's a little bit much for such a small game, because like I said, for solo play, it's only like a half an hour. But it's a really great game, and the art is excellent. And so next up, I'm going to talk about my health and fitness. So I didn't work out or anything this week, so I'm not going to show my workout board. I stayed pretty busy though, like working on my game. So the week went by really fast, and I kept on thinking like, oh, I'll work out tomorrow. I'll work out tomorrow. I'll go for a walk tomorrow. And next thing you know, the week was over, and it's kind of like I don't know. Anyway, here's my weight. I weigh 269, same as last week essentially. And so I made this goal because I'm going to go to that board game convention in Vancouver next month. That I need to get into walking shape, and that didn't motivate me at all for some reason. So I'll have to start this week. I really need to get into walking shape. I don't want to feel like I'm dying when I'm walking around there. I don't want to die because I need to get back into shape. And so yeah, like I said, I wrote here. I guess it's like I'm waiting for some other Luke to start working out, and I'll just tag along. But no, I'm gonna have to do it myself. So I'll get better. And so my food journal for the week. Not too bad. Not too bad of a week. It wasn't great. I ate takeout a couple times. I had Chinese food one night, which wasn't the greatest. And also there was Super Bowl Sunday. And for some reason, I can't remember what I had for Saturday night for dinner last week. So Saturday for breakfast, I had eggs and sausages, sandwiches. For lunch, I had a banana and an apple. And for dinner, I had something. I can't remember what I had, but it must have been baked because I only had a banana and apple for lunch. On Sunday, that was Super Bowl Sunday, so I had a breakfast buffet with my mom, and then I had chips and dip for lunch, basically. And then I had like chicken tenders and fries and pop for dinner. And then I had I bought a Kit Kat bar as well. Monday, I had eggs and toast for breakfast. Had some sandwiches for lunch. I had chicken sandwiches for dinner with chips that I had from the day before. Tuesday, I had eggs and toast for breakfast. I had a salad and a banana for lunch. And I had pork rice with mushroom sauce for dinner. And I had some cheese crackers. And Wednesday, that was a night I ordered takeout. So I had like eggs and toast for breakfast. Had a salad and a pepperoni for lunch. And I had like a clubhouse sandwich and fries for dinner. And I had a little bit of the Chinese food that I had bought in. Thursday, I had eggs and toast for breakfast. I had salad for lunch, and I had the Chinese food that I bought the night before for dinner. Then I had toast and pepperoni for snacks on Thursday night. And then Friday, I had an egg sandwich, which was so good for breakfast, and I had some chow mein for dinner. And then I made some spaghetti with Italian sausage, and then bread for dinner, and I had some fruit leathers as a snack. So art projects I'm working on. I worked a bit on the Dreamer Mask this week. Not so much. There was progress. I did work on a bit, but not too much. Not really anything else art-wise. Games I'm working on. So games, that's what's on the bulk of the week. I had a really busy week as far as games. I finished up the playtesting package to send to playtesters, and I got a bunch of playtesters, so I'll send those out today. I worked on a couple games. I worked on a game that is currently called The Isle of Cat Herding. I've talked about it before. I'm definitely going to change. It's definitely going to change. I'm definitely going to change the theme. I did one solo playtest, and then after that, I needed a lot of tweaking. I wanted to have one bag for the whole table, but it's just not going to work. So I adjusted so each player having an identical bag, but the bags, and so they'll have identical pieces as well, but just the backs will be different, so we'll be able to tell what they're playing. Getting hexes out of the bag is still going to be an Oni rim type game, but as far as what players do with them once they put it on the table, I'm not 100% sure. I'm working on it. It's going to be really interactive, so I need people to test it. I can't just test it myself. I also worked on a new trick-taking game, which is, I'm pretty excited about it. It's called 19th Hole Golf at the moment. The playing deck will be 54 cards with 5 suits and 2 special cards. One of them will be a trump suit with 12 cards, the other ones will just have 10. There's going to be 18 tarot-sized cards. They'll be called hole cards, and each will represent a hole at a golf course. And they'll have a par and special abilities. So players will aim to lose hands because the cards are strokes. And the winner of each hand will get all the strokes and basically they'll minus the whole card from their strokes that they got that week to get their score for that round. There'll also be some mini cards or hexes that will mitigate some of the luck in the game. And I've decided to work on continue to work on the art for 3 Ravens, and I decided I'm going to do the European tarot size cards instead of like the cards I was going to use. So I worked on the cards. I'm adjusting the art, and going to change the color of the pip cards. I'm going to work on the art for the pip cards, so on and so forth. Also game related, I started an online course to help finish my business plan and get my business off the ground. So I'm pretty excited about that. My business is Curve Cut Games. I'd say obviously, but it's not obvious. So games I played this week. Actually, the only game I really played this week was Wormspan, and that was for the filming of last week's video. But like I said, I worked on 2 prototypes this week, so I actually did a few plays of my prototypes. And so that's like, so yeah, I did actually play a few games, just not other people's games. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about that. So channels I watched this week. So I watched all of the usual suspects, and the usual suspects being the Board Game Garden, Board Game Co., Foster the Meeple, the Brothers Murph, Jamie Stegmaier, as well as a few random videos from Adam of Wales. I finally figured out it's called Adam of Wales. I always keep on calling me Adam from Wales. And those were like how-to videos. And I also I wanted to see how the card game Gnar worked. Because my trick-taking game is like, you're playing around with like cards, and then you have like these sort of mat cards that you're interacting with, and Gnar has boards that you interact with. I want to see how that worked. But for some reason, watching the videos, I couldn't like wrap my head around how the game works. And so yeah. So those are basically most of the things I watched this week. And my goals for next week, I'm going to work out. I'm going to go on walks. I'm going to carve more. That's going to be my focus, carving more. I'm going to do a little bit of painting. And all around, I just want to build more momentum for my life. And so, yeah, those are my goals for next week. The final score for this game was 47, rookie. And it was literally my worst score ever. I guess I buckled under the bright lights. Yeah, while I was filming, I was very aware that I was filming, and it really affected me, my game. This game takes a lot of thought, takes a lot of planning. You really have to be focused. And so the highlighted work I'm going to talk about this week is called Burning in the Rain. And Burning in the Rain, it was from a piece video I did called Remediation. And it was a video, it was like a 12-minute video where I carved a totem pole, cut it in half, and then hiked from Montreal to BC and then all around Vancouver Island with this half a totem pole on my back. And I went to a beach, and then I burned it. And I burned it for we burned it for like 6 hours, and it was raining, so it just wouldn't burn. And so I had this like piece that left over from the video, and I never told anybody for like 3 years that I didn't actually burn, because in the video it looks like it burns away completely, and I still had the bottom half. The bottom half is called Remnant 1. It's a little half of a beaver totem pole. I have it downstairs in my living room. And the top half was this, and I had this in my storage. I showed it to one person. They wanted to buy it immediately. And so I decided what I'd do is I would take it, and I would like take out the back a little bit because the back was all burnt. And I thought I would just like mount it on a wooden cradle board, which is what you see right here. And oh my God, centering that thing on the cradle board was ridiculously hard. Like I almost started crying. Like literally, I wanted to give up being an artist. I'm like, I'm not gonna make art anymore because this is so hard. Like it was so hard to get, because it's not equal. It's not what do you call it? It's not symmetrical. It's asymmetrical. And getting that thing centered, oh my God, like it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Like I said, I was almost on the verge of crying. Like it was brutal. Yeah, but it's a really great piece, and I sold it right away. As soon as I showed it, it sold right away. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy. I was pretty happy to, get rid of it. And I know that sounds weird to say get rid of it, but I'm not nostalgic about my art. I like seeing my art after it's sold, or I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm always moving forward. I always want to work on the next project, and sometimes to my detriment, but most times it's I think it's a good attitude to have. And so there's my timer goes off. My timer goes off at 13 minutes, so I'm just going to wrap it up. So yeah, thanks for listening this week, and I hope you all have a great week next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for viewing my channel, and I hope you will continue to tune in. The old man once said, life is a journey, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. So this is me, stopping and looking around, because I have been missing it. These are a few of my socials. Please follow those and this channel as well. Thank you, and be well.